Hit the mic opinions with the snap. NYG22, yeah, that's the cap. Unpopular takes, but we cut no slack. Watch the views climb while we talk that smack.
It look like we running with DJ for another year, girl.
I think the Giants are going to get off to a fast start.
This channel for them high sports laws. Got the bass that hit like heavy doors. Unpop opinion sports where the talk roars.
What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another Unpopular Opinion. And today we're actually going to do an NFL season preview. And I want to start with the AFC East. You see it on the screen right now, talking about the Patriots, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, and New York Jets. What we're going to do, we're going to preview each team, give you kind of an overview, look at some roster moves that each franchise made, and we're going to give you, I'm going to give you some fantasy players to watch for each team. And we're going to look at the over-under and just give an overall outlook. Now, I don't really want to give a record prediction right now. I'm going to save that for another show. So I won't actually be giving a prediction. But what we will do is kind of look at the over-under and kind of see where each team is. So before I do that, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell so you get notifications when I'm dropping all these unpopular opinions, live streams, shorts, and all new content. And share the video if you're really feeling the content. So thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you guys' support. So let's get into it. And we are going to start with the Buffalo Bills, the reigning champs of the division. Buffalo Bills went 11-6 last season. They got the Bills at 10.5 over under for the year. I think that's fair, you know, given the record last year and given that they got some key losses here, some real big time losses here. Of course, Stephon Diggs being traded to the Houston Texans. That's the big one. You got Gabe Davis who left, Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious Wright, two big names on defense, another big name, Leonard Floyd, and the center, Mitch Morse. So definitely there's going to be a whole different look for this Buffalo Bills team coming up this season. Josh Allen, who has done a lot, is going to be asked to do even more this year, given some of the losses. Now, they did bring in Curtis Samuel, Mac Hollins. They drafted Keon Coleman and Cedric Van Pran for the offensive line. So some of the names there, as you can see on the screen. But again, this is going to be up to Josh Allen. This thing is going to be a Josh Allen or die type situation, I kind of feel like, for Buffalo this year. Sean McDermott, I mean, his seat might be getting a little warm. Because I mean, this team they got to get there. They have a Super Bowl ready caliber quarterback, you know. Despite some of the losses, I still think this is a pretty good team. Should be a Super Bowl contending type team. So they got to get there. They got to find a way to beat the Kansas City Chiefs and get over this hump. So you can see some of the key questions I have here. And it's Josh Allen. Like I said, can Josh Allen carry this offense? What will this new wide receiver core look like? Of course, no Stephon Diggs, no Gabe Davis. You're bringing in Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakur. So what are some of these guys going to be able to do? What can they bring? You know what I'm saying? James Cook now is a good running back. So will the Buffalo Bills, can they start actually, and will they actually stick to the running game this year? I know they got the running game going late last year, and it actually helped them, you know, getting to the playoffs, you know, because they was fighting for that spot. So and the biggest bugaboo, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs. Can the Bills finally beat the Chiefs? The Chiefs are in everybody's way in the AFC right now. And a lot of these previews that I'm going to be doing, especially for the AFC, it's going to be about these teams building a team to try to take down the Chiefs. Those are the defending champs. Those are the defending AFC champs. Now, let's take a look at Buffalo's schedule here a little bit. Week 1, they got the Arizona Cardinals, Dolphins. That's going to be a tough stretch. Tough schedule here for Buffalo. That first, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I say like the first 6, 7 weeks maybe it's going to be rough. I mean, you got the Dolphins and the Jets, 2 division opponents. Jacksonville, a good team. Baltimore, a championship caliber team. Houston, they're getting there. Tennessee's always a tough bunch. Seattle, they're gonna be fighting in the mix in the NFC. So tough stretch there, man. At the beginning of the season, I feel like for Buffalo, man, if they can get off to a good start, a fast start, it would definitely help them. Now, as far as fantasy is concerned, again, Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the number 1 quarterback according to Fantasy Pros, is what I got this information off of, this particular website. Josh Allen, number 1 quarterback. I don't like to draft the quarterback particularly early, but if you want Josh Allen, you're probably gonna have to get him in like the 2nd, maybe 3rd round if you get lucky. I think that's how it's gonna go down. And a lot of people will reach for a quarterback, so I would look to be taking Josh Allen around the 2nd round. Now, I don't like a lot of the wide receivers right now because they're unproven, particularly the rookies. They did bring in, guys like Chase Claypool, Mac Hollins, but these aren't big names for fantasy. But again, I talked about the running game with Buffalo earlier. If you can get James Cook, that might be a good pickup here. Currently, he's RB 15, and I think he's ranked 44th. So you could probably get him in the 4th, maybe 5th round. And the Buffalo's gonna have to try to run the football this year. And they when they did run it last year, Cook was doing his thing. So definitely look for James Cook as a sleeper in fantasy, man, this year for the Buffalo Bills. So Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, they went 11-6 last year. I think this was BetMGM. They got them at 9.5 over under. And Dolphins did have some key losses as well, on the offensive line with Robert Hunt, on the defensive line with Christian Wilkins, cornerback Xavier Howard, pass rusher Van Ginkel. So a lot of losses in, but they did, bring in some players: Jack Driscoll, Jonathan Harris, Shaq Barrett, Kendall Fuller, Jordan Poyer, got him from Buffalo. So I like the draft of Chop Robinson. I think that's going to be a good pairing there with I can't think of it. We'll look at the roster here in a second, but Mr. Tua. As far as the key questions, will Tua get paid and how much? These quarterbacks are getting paid, and Tua is next up. He's one of the next ones up. So will he get the contract? I know they've been kind of going back and forth with the situation, so I don't know if it's going to get done. There are rumors that, another quarterback's going to get paid. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks in this series that we talk about that's looking to get new contracts. This is the wave of the NFL. This is what is going on. Are the Dolphins legit contenders? Is this a legit contending team. Now let's take a look at the roster here a little bit. They bought in Odell Beckham Jr. So you got a hell of a tandem there with Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and OBJ. That's probably going to rival some of the best wide receiver cores in the league. I also like Braxton Berrios. He's a underrated receiver for them. I think the Dolphins O-line is solid, regardless of the loss of Robert Hunt. Got a hell of a 1-2 punch in Mostert and Devon A-Chain. You know, we talked about Tua. Going over to the defense, bringing in Calais Campbell. You got Jaden Phillips, Bradley Chubb still there, as I mentioned. That's what I was thinking about, pairing him with Chop Robinson. Jalen Ramsey on the back end. Like I said, they brought in Jordan Poyer, got Kendall Fuller. So this team is ready to go. It's, can they get over the hump and can they stay healthy? That's the big thing. That's the big thing with Tua. That's one of the big things has been with OBJ. You know, Chubb's been hurt. You know, Calais Campbell, he's getting up there in age. Waddle's been hurt. Tyreek Hill got hurt a little bit last year. Health is going to be key, real key for this Dolphins team. Week one, Jacksonville Jaguars. That's going to be a pretty good test. That little stretch right there. Packers, Jets, Texans, 49ers, Browns, Jets. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough for Miami. As far as fantasy, I mean, a lot of options. The top option, though, is Tyreek Hill. He is wide receiver number 2. Wide receiver number 2. He is the 3rd ranked player. So if you want Hill, he's going to have to be your first pick. You know, he's going to have to be your first pick. A-Chain is coming in at RB number 11. And 36 ranked overall. So look for him around 3 to 4 maybe. And of course you got Waddle. I think he's in that range too as well. So take a chance on Mostert. I don't know how many touches he's going to get in this offense, but I wouldn't draft OBJ from a fantasy standpoint. He hasn't really produced in that area as of late in his career. So the Jets, Jets. So the Jets, of course, finished 7-9 last year. Got them over under at 9.5. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are high on the Jets, and to be honest, this roster is loaded. I mean, you know, it's stacked, man. You know, they did lose, had a couple losses. Bryce Huff, that's nothing to sneeze at. Good pass rusher, but the rest of these guys are kind of like, man. When we look at the roster, it's like they didn't really lose too much. I do like the draft, particularly for Shanu, the tackle, and then the RB, Braylon Allen. He's one of the running backs that I was scouting for the Giants. Bringing in Hassan Reddick, you know, Tyrod Taylor, good backup QB. As a Giants fan, I like Tyrod. Tyron Smith on the offensive line, Morgan Moses on the offensive line. So boosting up the offensive line was a priority for the New York Jets, and they did a good job of that in the offseason. Some key questions here. The big bugaboo, what will you get from Aaron Rodgers? What will you get from Aaron Rodgers? Is he fully invested? Is he going to be healthy coming back from the injury? And just overall, like, what are you going to get from, you know, an Asian quarterback that, you know, people say maybe he's washed up? I don't know. I don't personally think so. I think at minimum, Aaron Rodgers is going to be way better than what the Jets had at quarterback last year. So even if he's not, you know, himself is, you know, Hall of Fame self. So But it's just always a thing. It's, you know, one of those polarizing figures. A guy like Aaron Rodgers, you just don't know how committed he's going to be as far as the New York Jets is concerned. By all accounts, he is. So Jets fans can hope, cross their fingers, that he's committed and that he stays healthy. Because if he is, this is going to be a dangerous team. Rob Saleh is another person that I question personally with the Jets. Can he maximize the talent on this team? We know he gets the most out that defense, but offensively is where the Jets have struggled. You know, where the Jets have struggled. Now, I do question the O-line help and the depth a little bit here. And the only reason I say that is because Tyron Smith, Morgan Moses, Elijah Vera-Tucker, these are players that have been hurt. John Simpson, the right guard from Baltimore, he's pretty good. So, but it's going to be about health. Again, with Rodgers, with Breece Hall, the running back who was hurt last year. Can this team stay healthy, particularly at the quarterback and particularly on the offensive line? I think those are going to be the keys to this Jets season. But if everything goes right, they should be in the mix. Let's look at the schedule here. I'm just looking at that stretch. Dolphins, Jags, Rams, Bills, Dolphins. Then before that, you got the Seahawks. That's coming off the bye. This division, it's going to be a 3-horse race between Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets. We're going to talk about the Patriots here in a second, but they're rebuilding. So, again, it's going to come down to, you know, the last man standing type situation here. I feel like with these three teams is who is going to be healthy at the right time. Here with the Patriots, obviously not a good season last year. They had the 3rd overall pick, went 4-13, up 4.5. Yeah, that's about right. They got some work to do here in New England. Look at some of the losses they had. Devontae Parker, Mac Wilson, Mac Jones, of course, being traded. Mike Gesicki, Jalen Mills. They did bring in Antonio Gibson, Austin Hooper, Jacoby Brissett coming back. Of course, he was there before. The big thing is the rebuild. And the rebuild starts with their top pick, which is Drake May. Drake May, 3rd overall to the Patriots. They brought in Jalen Polk out of Washington to help the receiving core. So nice draft. I think their draft was okay. Not crazy about it, but again, they're rebuilding, so they got work to do to catch these other three teams. We just looked at those rosters. When you compare it to this Patriots roster, it's, yeah, they like I said, they got some work to do here in New England. But if Drake May is that guy, they should be set. I would not rush Drake May, but this is really about your quarterback here, you know, you and your coach. And those are the two questions that I have. Is Jared Mayo the right coach? And what will year one look like from Drake May? You know, what are you going to get out of Drake May year one? How much will he play? Will he start from the beginning? Or will, you know, they put Jacoby Brissett and try to give him a, you know, try to develop him as the season goes along and maybe start playing him later on down the stretch, or even redshirt him. I personally think Drake May is a quarterback that needs a year or two of development. You know, very raw, pause, coming out of Carolina. So if they can get by sitting him and playing Jacoby Brissett, I think that's the right move. They don't have a lot of firepower on this offense. I mean, you got a rookie, Jalen Polk, coming in with Kendrick Bourne, Demario Davis, Jalen Reagor, Javon Baker. I don't feel great about those players. I don't feel great about this offensive line either. I know you brought back Mike Olawinu, but Cole Strange, Okafor, as we mentioned, coming over from Pittsburgh to be the left tackle. David Andrews. I don't know. I do like Ramondre Stevenson, the running back. So he's going to be my fantasy pick for this team, and he's 65th overall. So look for him around in the 8th to 9th round. He would be a flex running back, in my opinion. But this is about Drake May. You know, I don't know how Patriots fans feel, but if I'm a Patriots fan, I would be not looking for this team to do a lot and just looking of the development of some of your younger players. Looking at the schedule, again, it's gonna be tough. You got Bengals off the bat, Seahawks, Jets, 49ers, Dolphins, Texans, Jaguars. That is rough for the Patriots to start out. So they could pick up some wins on the back end. Cardinals, Bills, Chargers, Bills again. Got the Colts mixed in there, and your bye week. So maybe that's the time where you look to put Drake May out there. But just look for development. You know, they got some pieces on defense. Didn't talk about the defense a little bit, but Kyle Duggar, Christian Gonzalez, Matthew Judon, good pass rushers. So they'll be competitive, I feel like, on defense, but this offense has some work to do. This offense definitely has some work to do. So that's going to be it for the AFC East. Like I said, I will be doing record predictions in a whole nother video, so look out for that. But again, I see this division coming down to a 3-team race: Bills, Dolphins, Jets. And to me, it's going to come down to who can stay healthy or get healthy at the right time. I know people are down on the Bills a little bit, but I think they'll be okay. Buffalo Bills fans, I think you guys will be okay. So Jets, Dolphins, again, a lot stacked rosters. It's going to come down to health with both of those teams and quarterback play, to be honest with you, with Tua and Aaron Rodgers. And then again, the Patriots are just rebuilding. So that's all I got for this episode. Be on the lookout for the next division preview. Like I said, hit the notification bell so that you get notifications when these are coming out. And put your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. If you're a fan of either of these teams, let me know your thoughts and your overall thoughts of what I said about your team. Or if you're not, just let me know your thoughts on the AFC East. And I think it's a pretty good division. It's going to be real competitive. So shout out to those teams. And until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.